Yo, what's good? It's your boy, BZ Flacco, Mr. V12, all gas, no brakes. Yo, what's really good? We are popping today. I'm going to do a little round robin like I normally do before we get into the proceedings this evening. Blink, what's good, my guy?
I'm good, man.
You good?
Yeah.
Living life. Freddie P, what's popping?
When you live in life, man, you may not be on time, but you'll never be late.
Come on now. I like that. Chuck Bizzle was good, my guy.
Hey, look, as an Aggie, I feel like I'm in the lion's den right now, but I'm trying to get comfortable. We're
gonna get loose. Jay Chosen, what's up, boy?
What's good, man? Flying like an eagle.
There you go.
I love it. Spike B, what's up, my guy?
Feet on the ground every day.
Yes,
sir.
We
Yes,
are
sir.
blessed. We
Yes,
are
sir.
blessed. Again, this is the Not of a Mind podcast. This is what, episode 27?
27.
Yeah, somewhere
Ooh,
around
we
27.
moving up. I'm starting to kind of forget what the numbers
Hey,
is. Though.
man, that's how it goes.
27
That's how it goes
right
when
now.
you're on the road, man.
That's
We've
a
been on a
blessing.
crazy
That's a
run, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Look, without further ado, I want to thank all the subscribers, everybody that's been supporting us.
Yep.
You know, cats have been joining our premiere episodes in those live chats. We just want to give you a shout out, man. Thanks for tapping in.
Yep.
I know we're trying to expand as much as possible. As you can see, we keep great people in front of us. There's a lot more great people out here in the city. We got one here. You know, we just want to give everybody, give you your flowers for supporting us and keeping us going.
Absolutely.
Yes. Definitely. So, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get this intro going. I mentioned to him in pre-production not to cry, so y'all keep an eye on his eyes. Keep an eye on his eyes. All right? So first off, we got this 919 hoop legend in the building. Word on the street, he's a certified bucket getter. Woo! That's what they call it.
Talk to him, Chuck.
This man's name is plastered throughout all the record books.
Come on now.
Okay, NCCU record books, CIAA record books. NCCU. What for NCCU? You're the 3-point attempts leader.
Right.
Then you went from that to the coaching ranks. Mm-hmm. Now you're leading in wins. Mm-hmm. We got that right. Get mad respect from all coaches. Mm-hmm. Name stay in there when anything is coming up.
Yeah.
That name stay coming up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
This man is a philanthropist.
Yes.
You see the shirt. We got Vel Cares. We got Raleigh Ray's development.
Yep.
Doing a whole bunch of things. We're gonna get to that.
Yep.
We're gonna get to that.
Yep.
This man has coached on several different levels. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't think that it all started right here. The man just woke up coaching.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna get to that as well. Rumor has it he migrated to NC after a lunchroom brawl with Bobby Brown over the telephone, man. But we're gonna say that for another day. You know what I mean? So without further ado, we got Coach LeVelle Moton in the NCCU's own.
Very own, baby.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Listen, man, we appreciate you, man, for inviting us into your house,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah, no doubt.
And just so you know, just being here, man, we see all the history that you've instilled in this hallway, in this building, in this facility. I should say facility now because of all the upgrades that you have made here, man.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. It's almost overwhelming because you start to see familiar faces that you forgot about that were legends in here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bug.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dominique Sutton. I see them plastered on the walls.
Yeah.
I see you everywhere on here, from coaching to holding trophies to playing.
Yep.
So it's just a lot of history here, man. You are truly a cycle success story, bro. And what I mean by that is you went from adolescent hooping here, right? Then you become the hometown college favorite. Then you come back and you start coaching at your alma maters. Okay? Take over on those numbers. You got CIAA, the NCCU, Hall of Fame. All at the same time while giving back to your community.
Yeah.
So when I look at the things that you've accomplished, it's like you ain't got nothing to prove, brother.
Yeah.
So what keeps you motivated? What keeps you motivated to say, hey, look, I got something else I gotta knock off the list, because your list, you done knocked off a whole lot.
Checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Man, you know what it is, man. As men, you just keep your head down and do the work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always consider myself, man, a man of purpose, right?
Okay.
And so when you have that, you understand the path in which you're navigating. So you don't let external factors dictate how you move. You don't let the opinion of anyone else dictate how you move. Man, I'm here not because of how talented I was. Obviously, that had a lot to do with it, but I had a praying grandmother, man. And, you know, I lost her, unfortunately, when I was 11. But, man, she told me when I was young, I won a Pepsi hot shot competition where I was crowned like the best shooter in the world, right? And when I came back, I told her, you know, we was in the projects. I was like, Grandma, I'm going to get you out these projects and, you know, I'm going to buy you this house and this big car. And she couldn't even drive. I don't know why I was telling her I'm going to get my But she was like, you know, that's fine and dandy. But she said, I want you to understand something. Like, the two most important days of your life is the day that you were born and the day you figure out why. She said, if you leave this earth and people remember you as a basketball player, you've done a poor job of living. Wow. Man, I was 11 when she said that to me, man.
She's speaking it into you early.
Oh, my goodness, bro. And I ain't get it then. I was like, yo, what in the world? Like, it was crazy. And it's just... You know, y'all remember that show with Della Reese, Touched by an Angel? That's my life with my grandma. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like she my guardian angel, just up there, just navigating me. Because, man, you know, in the hood, you got all kind of choices that you got to make every single day.
Sir.
And
Life or death
you know,
decisions.
and so every day you walked out of our home, it was a life or death decision to get back in. You know what I'm saying? And some of my partners I grew up with, they made a left.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. The only difference between them and me was I ain't get caught doing some of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I
real
won't
talk.
qualify
That's
to
some of
judge.
us up
A lot of us.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like when you in them circumstances, man, it's just what it is. And so I always tried to be as authentic as possible and sharing that story with people, not to promote anything illegal, but just saying like, yo, you don't have to go that route.
Right.
And so when you get on that path and you look down the road a little bit and you see how far God has taken you and you realize it ain't really because of you. You was like, okay, you just navigating.
You're a vessel. You're a vessel.
Yeah, you're just navigating this. I'm just a vessel, man. So, God, whatever you want me to do, just take me along that path, and I praise you along the way, and try to help others along the way, man. So, you know, for me, especially where we come from, the worst thing you can do, it was instilled. Everybody always told you, don't you ever forget where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Right. So whatever you do, you can't forget where you come from. And man, I established my foundation early, and I just wanted to help people in that community, man. So everything I do and everything I touch, you know, basketball is 2 hours out the day, so that's pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? So the other 22, I don't do nothing, man. I go out there on the golf course with you every now and then, and you know, become landscapers.
Do some landscaping with me.
Yeah, do some landscaping work out there on the golf course. But other than that, man, I'm a pretty boring guy, so I don't do a whole lot. So it ain't much for me to help people. You know what I'm saying? And so that's been like my calling card. And I take a lot of pride in it. I don't need a lot of credit for it, but I just need to help and change. And, you know, man, I've been blessed with a tremendous platform, man. And I got to send that elevator back down. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it early on was survivor's remorse, right? Because you see your homies locked up, you see this cat ain't make it, man. I got a partner on death row. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, these are real stories for me, man. And it's just like, whoa, you pray to God and you're like, yo, how did I make it out? You know what I'm saying? Not only did I make it out, like, how did I survive in advance in this thing that we call life when, you know, it could have went the other way around for whatever reason. It didn't mean you was a bad dude. It just meant you made a wrong decision, or you could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? We
exactly. That's what
know
happens with a lot
cats
of us.
that you know, fell victim to that too, man. So I thank God every day, man, that I get an opportunity to come out here and do what I love, and that's basketball.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
You didn't know the why. I'm gonna tell you why, because you said it. You had a praying grandmother.
Yeah.
And at those points in times, and my mom used to tell me this all the time. She'd be like, "Look, it ain't your prayers why you safe.
Oh yeah.
Your prayers ain't keeping you safe. My prayers are what's keeping
There
you
you
safe,
go.
because
Yeah.
I'm the one that's faithful.
That's right.
So you know, you had a praying grandmother, and she wanted to protect your path, bro. So
Yeah.
you definitely got it right.
Because I want to go back a little bit because you kind of touched on it with the Pepsi contest, because I watched your TED Talk conversation.
Right.
And I know you had some competition there
Yeah.
as you led your way into that within the Pepsi contest.
Yeah.
What was that competition like? Going to that a little bit.
Man, it was,
that?
yeah, man. And I want y'all to know, man, I'm here. Y'all ask me whatever, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Like,
worry.
Don't worry.
back,
That's what we do.
don't-
Talk to him.
but no, that's real, man. You know, I think in everyone's life, man, for better or for worse, we got this thing we call a light bulb moment, where the light bulb just went off and it kind of clicked, and you was like, okay, I get it now. And you go from being a kid to having a vision and seeing a purpose and why you kind of here, what you want to do, whatever it may be for each individual. But and so as you mentioned, mine for me was that Pepsi Hot Shot competition. Man, I was a hood kid. We had just moved from Boston, you know, in Roxbury, so that we moved from one hood to the other. Then when I got here, I was like, man, good gracious. It's like, you know, it's like people just expect you to live fast and die young when you come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Every day it's a daily reminder that you ain't really worth nothing, man. Because the roaches, the rats, the broken glass, the urine in the hallways, it's just the whole environment. It's like, damn, bro, y'all this is like caged animals when you sit back and really look at it, man. So I was walking in the boys club one day. I think I was 11 years old. They had a bunch of Pepsi trucks outside. I thought they were just restocking the machines. So as I get in, I see all this Pepsi merchandise everywhere, man. And, you know, they was like, yo, it's a hot shot competition. I'm like, what's that? And then, you know, I see the cast that's in it, and they not really good at basketball. So I was like, oh, that's corny. They ain't about to do that. You know what I'm saying? Then the head of Pepsi come over. He was like, man, I heard you're a good player. If you want to enter, come on. And I was like, nah, I'm good. He was like, well, the winner gets those 2 2-liter Pepsis over there. Oh, bro, sign me up, bro. 11. I'm 11 at this time. I'm like, oh, sign me up. That's all you had to say then. You know what I'm saying? Like, those 2 2-liter Pepsis, man, shoot, I can take them back to the crib. I think I'm a grown man, provided and protected for my family. You know, that's what I'm doing. So,
cool Pepsis.
Yeah, long story short, man, they explained the rules. And the rules was just pretty much, you got 5, 6 spots on the floor. You got a minute to shoot. And they would play this song to start the music, and that song was 60 seconds. And you just make as many shots from each spot as you could, and so each spot had a different point differential. And when I finished, man, they ran on the court, and they was like, man, you broke a record. I was like, man, forget that record. I need my Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? And man, what I didn't know, it was the local, so I won that. And then it was the city. And then the next weekend, I had to go to the state in Charlotte. Yeah. Okay. And I ain't really want to do that because I was like, yo, I ain't signed up for all this. You know what I'm saying? So I won it in Charlotte. Then I thought that was it. Okay, I'm state champion. Okay, we get it. It's been a nice run. But that's like, no, now you go to the Southeast region.
Yeah, got the region.
So that was in Atlanta. It's at Georgia Tech. So I get there. And it's like 5,000 kids there. I'm like, yo, this is heavy.
More real than what I thought, right? Yeah.
But I ain't even want to go to that. I don't know if y'all remember this, man. This is around the time Atlanta was having these Atlanta child murders.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wayne Williams.
Allegedly.
They hadn't figured allegedly. Yeah. They hadn't figured out what was going on. But it was making the news down here. And I was like, man, y'all ain't found out who killing these black kids. And I fit the description of, no, but we ain't doing that. So my mentor, Ron Williams, shout out to Ron from the Boys Club, he promised my mom he'll take me down there. So I get down there, man, and it's a kid. I'm competing against a cat that, you know, he was like 3-time Pepsi Hot Shot champion. So he had on Pepsi sweatbands and headbands. He was a sponsor. Yeah, he was knee pads. He just back when you had knee pads. I was like,
what you need knee pads for? You shoot 3.
Yeah, so he's shooting that thing, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. So we got to the last round, and there's 5,000 people out here watching. And my mentor, Ron, was like, yo, man, you already built for this, man. He was like, project's already, this ain't no pressure. That's the first time I learned that basketball ain't pressure. He was like, man, you already been through your pressure. So it's 5,000 people up here, and I got to half court, and I just closed my eyes, and I was like, man, just let me make my first shot, and I'm good. If I make my first shot, I'm good. And I made it, and it was a blur from there. So afterwards, I won, and I remember seeing the boy in the corner crying. And I was like, damn, bro, like, I felt bad for him because I was like, I only joined this for 2 Pepsis, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. I wouldn't have reacted like that, you know, because it wasn't that deep for me. So I'm thinking it's over. They crowned me the champion. So now they say I go to the Nationals. And the National is in D.C. at the time, Mr. Washington Bullets. And they was like, you get to shoot at halftime of the NBA game. Oh, wow. Right? And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I fly up to D.C. and it changed my life because it's the first time I ever been out the projects. because of my talent,
Yep.
right? And it's like everybody say you ain't gonna make it out and so on and so forth, but now I'm flying in.
That's crazy.
And I'm seeing things that I only seen in history books, the memorials and the monuments and, the White House. And then we go meet Ronald Reagan and, all of that. And then the next night, man, it's the Bulls versus the Bullets. It's Jordan rookie year.
Man.
But Jordan broke his foot.
Yep.
And I'm a kid, so we warming up. I can't even. He's sitting over there on the bench, and I can't even stop looking at him. I only took like 2 shots and warm ups because I'm just man, forget this. I want to meet Michael Jordan.
Right.
So at halftime, he come through. He was like, "All right." He said, "All right, little fella." And then man, he put his hand on my. I was like, "Oh Lord." Melted. I went out there and they introduced me in front of 19,000 people. You all on the man. I'm shaking. And I was like, "Man, please let me make my first shot." You know what I'm saying? And I make it. I end up winning it, man. And I came back and it changed my life. I was like, okay, now I know I can be something. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even questioning myself. I'm not questioning my abilities, man. Y'all ain't gonna tell me nothing. I'm gonna get my family out of here, and basketball gonna be the vehicle that do it.
So I believe that this quote is important too. Basketball is a game.
Games are meant to be fun.
Come on now.
Ain't no fun
Ain't no
losing.
fun in losing.
So you might as well win.
You might as well win.
The crazy thing about everything I just told you, I ain't want to do it, and I was telling my grandma the wildest story, and this ain't nothing but God, man. When I came back from Atlanta and I won it, the Pepsi Hot Shot National Organization was sending my flight arrangements, hotel arrangements, and everything to fly to D.C. I would check the mailbox and throw it in the trash because I didn't want to go. We had an AAU tournament, right? And I was like, man, I want to go play AAU. That's real basketball.
Right.
This ain't no real basketball. And they found out. They called my mom. They was like, Mom, like, y'all ain't been getting this? And my mom looked at me like, where these things at? Your mama can look at you and just know you lying. So I ran to my grandma's house. I was that. Anytime me and my mom had issues, I ran around the block to my grandma's house. And she was like, well, it seemed to me you should go. And I was like, Grandma, I don't want to go. They might think it's corny. She was like, well, what I do know is like basketball it's a game, and games are meant to be fun, and it ain't no fun losing, so you might as well go win. And I was like,
No. Straight like
makes sense.
Right.
And that's the only reason I went.
So I love that quote. That tied you back into when later in your career. I think when you had an interview. With some I forgot what.
Up here. When I come up here.
Talk to the chancellor. I think it was.
Talk to the chancellor. They got a committee that they assembled, for the interviewing process when I got here. And I know y'all probably want to ask. No. Up to that point, we'll get to it. But I was a dude who was coming from middle school, high school. I didn't have a long resume here, so I thought they was giving me a token interview pretty much because I had played here and had some success, whatever, right? And at least they could say, well, we interviewed one of our own. And so I go through the interviewing process, and nobody's asking me any basketball questions. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all ain't gonna ask me what I'm gonna run? No, not one. They just wanted to know if I could be a CEO of a program because that's what the leadership is. You know what I'm saying? They asked me what would be my philosophy, and I was like, well, basketball is a game. Games are meant to be fun. Ain't no fun losing, so you might as well win. I was just regurgitating everything my grandmother had told me since I was 10.
That's a bar.
Right? And so it was that simple, man, because I go speak at all these Fortune 500 companies, and it amazes me. You walk in, they got these big mission statements, right? 3 paragraphs, and the person that wrote the mission statement don't even know the mission statement.
Right.
And the first thing I tell them, like,
you got them one-liners from grandma.
yeah, I was like, yo, I said in an audience of 500, 1,000, yo, how many of y'all know the mission statement of this company? I said, because if you raise your hand, I'm going to call you on it. And like 1 or 2 people may raise. I said, so how y'all going to be successful as an organization and everybody don't even know the one mission that they're working towards? You know what I'm saying? So y'all got your bachelor's, master's, PhDs, doctor, whatever you call it. But I'm up here regurgitating, and y'all paid to listen to me regurgitate some stuff from a lady that had a 3rd grade education.
Right.
So life ain't that complex. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I try to let them know, man. And I just been fortunate to have her and her sayings, and I held on dear to them in my life.
So, Phil, I'm just hearing you speak about this Pepsi thing, and you made it the Nationals. How did talent equate back then? Because now, these kids got all these trainers, nutritionists. I grew up on the West End here in Durham, and everybody know we used to just play 21.
Yeah.
And we had, like, the king. I had a couple of friends that you couldn't beat them. In 21, they were just so aggressive. But nobody had no trainers. Like, nobody had nobody showing them nothing. But for some reason, you had them one or two kids, and it sounded like you were that kid that shined. Like, how did all that get started with just playing in the hood and being found in the hood? Like, how did your skill level start to equate above the other kids? You know what I mean?
Man, the craziest thing, man, I was everyone in my hood would tell you I want the biggest, fastest, strongest, none of that, right? What I was the most disciplined, right? I worked, even like the older women in the neighborhood, I go back and see them all the time, and it's crazy because I would take my kids with me, and they'd be like, "Your daddy always had a basketball in his hand." You know what I'm saying? He walked, like every time I say, he would ride his bike with his basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at my son like, see, that's part of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so what happens, what's happened in our society now is that, you know, we've allowed so many people, basketball has become so popular and so enriched that people can visually see the compensation that the players are getting, and so the agents are getting, and so now everybody won't in. They won't in, right? It's like, I hate to say this, man, but I'm just being a buck. It's like how crack entered our neighborhoods, right? Infiltrated. Everybody was like, "Oh, you can get rich. You can. All I gotta do take this packet from here to there. I get to." Now everybody won't in some capacity, and it's a business that it should be gate kept. You know what I'm saying? And so now with all the trainers, people think you can skip steps by having a trainer. And to be honest, they're not even qualified to be trainers. Right. Not all of them, but a lot of them. A lot of them. They're just showing you the moves that they've mastered.
And they know how to
edit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, oh, that's cool and worthy or whatever, but nothing replaces playing basketball. That's the only way you can get better. And I was a latchkey kid, you know, which meant, you know, I'm sure we were around the same age or whatever. Like, when our mama left the house, you had to leave the house. It ain't no staying in her house all day. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get out to the court. You know what I'm saying? And so now in the projects, you out there outside all day. You can't go back in the house. You know what I'm saying?
21 games of 21.
So you got to figure some stuff out, right? And so you doing everything, and to be honest with you, basketball was my third best sport. People would tell you I was a much better baseball player and a better quarterback. I just did basketball for the girls. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so that's just how it ended up, man. So I worked at it. When people were, like, I realized, like, the cornerstone in every project is the basketball court. Y'all know it go down up there. A lot of stuff you don't need to be really seeing as a kid. But man, I got caught in some situations because my mama bought me a ball.
Ooh, I got some too.
And she said, "You better not ever come back in this house without that ball."
I used to have to sit there and wait till they played.
You know what I'm
saying? Till they was ready to give my ball back.
Right. So this is crazy. It's similar situations, right?
I had a good ball.
So my mom ain't play, right? Because I had this one right here, and so I got the Michael Jordan basketball. Cause my mama bought me some Sky Jordans, so it was the black and red.
Signature.
Yes, right, had a
okay.
Right? So she was like, "Boy, I've done paid all this money for that ball. You better not come in here without that ball." So now I go up to the hood, right, and to the court, and as I'm shooting, the old heads come around. Yo, young blood, let me get a jumper, right? And so now they done turned. They gonna miss their first five. So now I'm just their personal rebounder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Then they need it for the game.
Yeah, now you got convicted felons over here shooting with the ball, and now it's getting close to my curfew. So I got to make a decision, right? Do I have to deal with my mama or these thugs up here? I'd rather go deal with these thugs because I got to get this ball. So they would shoot as soon as it go in the hoop. I mean, I just run through, catch it.
Keep on going.
Keep on going. I'm like, yo, where you going? I'm like, I got I see y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was, man. And so we did that. So I learned to escape them. Nobody would ever be at the court at 5, 6 in the morning. So I always went up there and got a workout then. And that's how I could get my workout by myself. You know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't want to have to deal with them. And the fact of going home without my ball and deal with my mama. You know what I'm saying? So that was real. That became my workout time.
I got a question for you as a coach, because like we talking about being young and the love of the game. Do you still? I mean, I know they do, but do you feel like the love of the game for these new age kids, like you said, do they look at it like us when we hoop? We didn't even care about getting paid. Right. I mean, and that's just the love of the game. But I'm saying now, like you said, I think people looking at it from like, if I do this. You know what I mean? As a coach, though, do you still see like the hunger, like our era players, or it's like I kind of see what you after. Not
More business than passion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I certainly understand what you're saying, and it's, you know, it's diminished. They don't. Most of them don't love it anymore.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Right, and they don't love it. They just love what they can get from it. They love the attention that it brings to them. They love the benefits and the perks that it can create for them on social media or with the girls or whoever, whatever, right? It gives them that dopamine fix. I'm a firm believer of when you truly love something, you'll go through hell and high water to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of these young men, if you take it away from them, they okay with that. Right, if you say no practice today, they cool. If you say no practice for 2 days,
I ain't gonna get into
that's
it.
cool.
They not
That's the
gonna
worst.
argue with you.
Like that's the worst thing that my mama could say to me is that I'm not gonna let you play or what. Like I would go crazy.
Man, you right.
Right, and so that was my love for the game, man. And so it's not even about this level. Like, man, a lot of them NBA cats, they don't love it. They're just good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for Bron. Tremendous amount of respect. Rest in peace for Cole. Like those
They
cats,
love the game.
like they loved it. Like Kevin Durant, bruh, every time I was telling somebody the other day, every time me and KD talk and text, it's about basketball. That's all that boy cares about. So I don't let nobody chastise him, you know, or critique him, man, because that's what we need to watch are guys that truly love the game.
Right.
Love the game.
Man, this dude was like, he texted me one day, yo, if me and Bird played against each other, how do you think it would have went down?
that's what I'm talking
He said,
about.
man, I would have loved that matchup. Could they, like, this dude just loved it, bro.
Similar to the game.
A student of the
This
game.
dude just loved it. Like, and Bron, like, my big bro is like a guy by the name of Nate McMillan, who from my hood. Right?
From your Seattle
He-
Supersonics.
Yeah, so he with the Lakers now, right? And so before he went to the Lakers, he had to, him and Bron had a conversation. And he ain't really know Bron like that, right? And I told him, I was like, yo, I'm telling you, he's unreal. He's gonna be the first. Like, I'm telling you, he's a machine, bro. And Nate went out there, and after the first 6-7 months with the Lakers, he called me, bro, and he was like, man, I don't know if this guy even lives at home. Like, he said, man, I've never beat this boy to the gym. He said, yo, he's here 5 hours early. He got a pregame routine, got a pre-practice routine. He said, I've never seen anyone devoted and dedicated to the game of basketball like this.
And it shows.
Yeah, and it shows. You know what I'm saying? So I just always tried to be that, man. And to answer your question, it's not that anymore. And the reason it's not that amongst this generation is because they got too many options. See, they can always scroll. They got laptops, phones. They got this and that. We ain't have nothing. So in the hood, you had to create your own fun.
That's right.
My first basketball goal, me and my partner, Steve Jones, and my brother Vern, what up, y'all? We took a bicycle rim, knocked the spokes out, put shoestrings for the nets, and nailed it to a tree.
Put on the pole.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was our basketball goal, bro. And you
that
couldn't
good
tell us
crate,
nothing.
that good
And then we
crate.
had the milk crates.
That good milk crate.
These
I don't
kids
know
ain't
nothing
doing
about
that
no
no more.
taking the,
You know what I'm saying?
The hanger.
The clothes hang on the back of the door.
That's what mama go to church. That's what mama go to church. You got that sign.
Man, when my mama went to work, bro, like, I took her baskets and put them on the living room. Man, I'm hooping. Like, man, I might have went through 200 Nerf baskets by dunking them and turning them up. You know what I'm saying? I just love it,
used to
bro.
run fools in the living room. Full court, one
Full
on.
court.
Bro, I destroyed so
Bullying
many clothes,
everybody.
man.
Yeah, it's football in the middle. It's
whole door.
everything, man. Like, these kids, they got too many options.
Yeah,
so when you have too many options,
Yeah, I get
you don't love it. You like it.
Coach, you know who gives
And
them those options?
everything's accessible to.
Everything.
You know who gives us those options? The parents.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of big in high school sports, and I watch it. And even now, like when I was in school, I went to Hillside. You couldn't pay me to go anywhere else. Now these kids, it could be anything that turn them off. They go home and tell their mama, the coach said this. And next thing, I've seen kids transfer to like 2 or 3 different high schools in this period of 4 years. Just
And
because,
Durham.
just because they don't like the fight through adversity,
Yeah.
the struggle. Is like, when you talk about options, they be like, oh, if you don't like it, I don't like them either. I didn't like, let's go over here. Like,
But
when
blink
we was
for
growing
them.
up,
It's crazy you say that, man. I got an interesting theory on that too. Like, you're 100% right, and I just think you know, the beautiful thing about my job, I get to stay around young people all the time. So ain't that far removed. I know they thinking the new music. Like nothing is a shocker to me, right? Yeah. And you got to think, man, and hopefully this gives you some insight and perspective. This generation of kids, they're the disciples of the children that went and became successful, right? So there are kids.
Right.
And they're just the disciples because we were granted opportunities that our mothers and fathers didn't have.
Right.
Right. So the sacrifices that they made, our mothers and fathers made for us, we went out, took advantage of, and now we've had these kids.
So
right.
Go ahead.
And my mentor, man, he got an incredible quote. God rest his soul, George Raveling. Man, he said, and I'm trying to get it right. I don't want to misquote him, but it's powerful as hell, right? So he said, my father walked to school. He said, my father walked 5 miles to school. I walked 2 miles. He said, my son rode a bike. His son drove a car, and his son drove a Mercedes. But he said, my great-great-great-grandson will walk again.
Yep.
And I was like, why is that? He said, because tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Yep. Easy times create weak men.
Come on, man.
And weak men create tough times.
Wow. Come on, man.
Right? So no matter what you do and no matter how much you raise these kids, you better raise them as warriors.
Yes.
You got to.
So what's happened with our generation is that we were so busy trying to give these kids what we didn't have that we forgot to give them what we did have.
So,
Man,
so you
Talk on.
So everything that you're talking about that's missing, it's our fault.
So you kind of answered my question because I was going to ask you that because I noticed you mentioned you go back to your old neighborhoods, but you take your kids. So that's what kind of stuck with me because because a lot of us, what we do is we want to build a better life for our kids, but we don't want them to see how we got to where we got to.
That's right.
And the fact that you do that is commendable because they need to know.
Yeah, they got to.
They need to know that. Hey, look, it's the reason why we live in this house. Hey, look, it's a reason. You see this banner? You see my name, my number up here. You want to know the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to get in here? You know, you don't think they just scribble my name in these record books.
Take it for granted.
Because I was cool and I was from the neighborhood. No.
Because you got to, man. Like, and I made, man, I can hit you with days for people that just helped molded me, man. Because I always tried. I was the little kid that was always looking at grown folks' mouth. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so we had this cat named one time in our neighborhood, man, and he called, like, we was walking through one day, me and my partners, we might be 10, 11 years old, man. He said something that, like, stripped me to my soul. And he's like, man, what's your great-grandfather's name? And I was like, he's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't know.
Right.
He said, you know why? I was like, why? He said, 'cause he ain't leave you nothing. I was like, damn.
Man, that's why you don't know.
No, that's powerful though.
And it's not talking about money. It's talking about the way he lived and the man he was. Right.
And so right there, it let me know that the best thing as a man that you can leave your children is a good last name. Woo. Like, that's the first thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I had a name that was awkward. Like, during school, they couldn't pronounce LeVelle, Moton, like, turn my name up the first 4 or 5 days, right? And so I was like, damn, bro, like, I just want to be able to leave my kids a last name that can propel them in life, where they be like, oh, that was your pops? Oh, come on in, you good. Because he was a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's those moments, man. And so that's why I take my kids back, so they can see, you know, what I had to endure, so they can know the stories. Because to them, it's just a story. Like, my daughter, she's 17. She'd be like, all right, can we go now? Because you know what I'm saying? She ain't interested in it. But VJ, he's my namesake, right? Yeah. And so now you really got to carry this, right? You really, because nobody's going to give you anything, bro. And so even me and my wife, she didn't want to name him initially LeVelle Moton Jr. And I was like, why? She was like, it's going to be too much pressure. I was like, it's going to be pressure on him anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he got to handle it. And so he built for it now. You know what I'm saying? So he's 10 times the kid I was at that age, right? As he should be, because he had me and I didn't have a me. And that's the importance of having a father, right? Like, when you ain't got a father, bro, like, it's so noticeable and it's
Yeah.
tough, right? Because you're screaming out, man. My pops left when I was 4, and bro, like it did something to me, like it put a hole in my soul. But I was like, woo, and it messed up. It altered because your father is your Superman.
Yeah.
And so it was different for me because most people in my hood didn't know their father. I knew mine, and he left at 4. So now you just feel like he left because of you. That's even worse. I'd rather not even know him.
That's worse.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going through that pain my entire life. Any girl that I can't date because I don't even know how to love. And so many people from the hood trying to
Teach you
they
this
got all these podcasts about love. Man, y'all don't know how to love. Because y'all ain't seen love. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Like, how you know how to love somebody? You ain't seen your mama get loved properly. You just going off your version, and we're trauma bonded.
That's right.
And we're fooling ourselves
That's
because
right.
some of us can sugarcoat it and
be
use some
trauma
baby
bonded,
face words and some Luther words better than others. But none of us know. My therapist told me this 2 years ago. Shout out to Jody. She said, and she real, bro. She cut you up in her session. She was like, you ain't good in relationships. You're just a good person.
Ooh, that's a difference too.
That's
a big
And I was like, ooh.
Make you think,
She's like, yeah, you coming in here blaming. Yeah, she's like, she said you ain't good in relationships. You're just a good person, which is 80% of the relationship. But diving in deeper and knowing how to love someone and da-da-da, like how can you do that and you ain't seen it done successfully yourself? You know what I'm saying? That I was like, Lord have mercy. So she like, you can come back next week if you want to, but it continues in here. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like, man, we all got the same, struggle it's the same fight, just a different round for most of us. You know what I'm saying? And so we've all been through the same thing. And we're still just trying to figure this thing out, as men in particular, man. That's hard because if I ain't have a man in my life, so it was just hard for me to even know how do you be a man.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I got a selfish question on that because you being a coach here, like you said before, you're around these youth. You've been able to see these guys come in, grow. You see the characteristics that work and where their gaps are. So let's say you're like me. You got a son that's getting ready to go to high school. What are the characteristics that you know that a young man has to have nowadays in order to succeed? Because it's a little bit different from when I grew up. Right?
That's real. I think as much as things have changed, things have remained the same, right? I think the standards and the principles of manhood, I don't think that's ever going to be compromised, right?
It should.
Because the only people in this world that's truly loved unconditionally are women, children, and dogs.
Yes.
Man,
We know that.
You should have came to the last time,
We know that, right?
Facts, man.
A man is only loved under the conditions which he can provide.
What he can do.
And that's what it is. So you better start
What he
raising
can do.
these young cats to know that now, right? Because and it's a slippery slope, right? I believe in them having resources and people to go talk to and emotional support and things of that nature because they're not us, right? They're not as tough as we were, right? And they shouldn't have to be when you think about it. Right. But they should understand that when you get older, this world does not care about your feelings. So there's a slippery slope and like, okay, you running telling this and relaying this and da-da-da-da, but there's going to come a point in time where that stops. And that's just the harsh reality of it.
That's right.
And so no one cares about your feelings. No one asks you or care how you doing today, right? You can pay every
fellas, I be saying that.
you
like,
can
they
pay
don't really
every bill
care.
in the house, and you're not going to be applauded for it. It's just like, yo, that's what you're supposed to do. And if anything, now it's almost like the women have always set the standard of the generations, whether it was directly or indirectly. And these young girls now that these boys got to deal with,
Oh my God.
they got restaurants where you can't even take them. Applebee's was it for me.
Cheesecake.
Chili's, right?
That was a
Chili's, that was a cheesecake.
That's like McDonald's.
I had a $5 date planned out in college.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Dollar movie.
But
We
now-
taking coupons out in college.
Yeah.
These kids can't do that no more, so they got to show and tell. And it's like, yo, where do you
Where's
find?
the fine line? Where's
Yeah.
the balance?
You
Where
can't
do
even
you
go to
find it
Cheesecake
at?
Factory, bro.
Hey, no,
So it's real. So we just got to prepare them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they got to go find those type of women, but those women are directly close to the women
Exactly.
that they're looking for.
Yup.
That a lot of times you ain't gonna be able to tell who's who until you go through the trial and error, just like we
Yeah.
had to.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, man, there's no running when you're becoming a man. It's only these principles of manhood, man, and those traits. You have to have thick skin.
Yeah.
You got to be really consistent in whatever you're gonna do. You got to show up. Right, you got to be competitive as hell. Now I ain't even talking in sports, right?
That's why I'm laughing.
In life,
talking
it ain't even got to be sports,
Right.
right?
Not
But
at
that
all.
girl over there, if you like her and you think she pretty, 10 more dudes too. So you got to compete,
You gotta compete.
right? That job, that career you want to do.
Yeah.
If you like that, and you think that's what you want to do.
Yup.
You ain't the only one interviewing for that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And so it's just a spirit of competition that these young men have to understand and develop, so now they can be propelled into a position where when they get there, their talent is not taking them to a place that their character can't sustain.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the key. But a lot of times they get there because their daddy may call or know somebody, but they can't stay there because staying there requires this.
Yeah, hard.
That inner demon. You know what I'm saying? You better have a burning fire in your belly.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why I said, like, yo, I want the most talented, but you're not going to outwork me.
Right.
Like, it's just that you're not going to outwork me. You might run a 40 faster than me, or you might jump a little higher than me, or whatever, but you're not going to outwork me. And they got to have a level of that. They call it that dog. You better have that dog in you just to succeed, man, because now we at the age, and I have to walk like I talk now. You know what I'm saying? Because
But you've been
It's-
having to do that. You just
yeah,
don't really.
and I'm 50,
Yeah.
man, and now it's like, damn, bro, like I'm at a place now where life is really real. So everything I learned from the hood, from athletics, I really gotta apply, man. Like my mom got sick this year, bro. Like, oh my goodness, bro. Like,
Yes, sir.
man, so now you're managing up.
Yes, sir.
You're managing your parents. You're managing your kids. You're managing your household. You're managing a team. You're managing work. You get so caught up in the managing everything that you forgot you ain't managing damn self.
How do you
Oh, yeah.
decompress?
You know what I gotta find my ways. It's crazy, and I'm still working on that. It's crazy you ask. Man, I get therapy every
I heard
Monday.
you mention your
Yeah.
therapist.
right.
Yeah, so that's been a cool thing. So I encourage kids to go speak and so on and so forth. But my therapist is real. She's not using mental health as a crutch, right?
That's
Because so
the
many
same thing
people
I
use
said.
that as a
Yeah.
crutch, and she's like, "No, that ain't
I
mental
just
health.
said
That's
that.
life. What you're going through."
They want to hide behind, oh, it's mental health.
Yeah, you can't
Everything is
do
mental
that,
health.
right? And so like it's a slippery slope, and so I encourage them to get the professional advice. But my therapist Jody, she be like, that ain't mental health. That's life, right?
Correct.
You got to go through that.
Gotta
You know
tough
what
it
I'm
out.
saying? Like you got to go through to get through that. So we ain't
But a
we
lot
ain't
of
gonna
people
come in and
can't no
blame
more.
your mental health on that aspect of it. You
Social
know what I'm
media-
saying?
social
So it's
media's
just
A lot of they can't get through.
yeah, they got the social media
Yeah,
thing. So
man.
the decompress, man, I just try to spend so much alone time. I try to do the yoga, nature walks, man. Like that's big for me now, right? The little simple stuff, man. We got a place at the beach and just going out there and just listening to
I'm
the
glad
waves.
you were sitting there,
Just chilling,
Coach.
just listening.
I'm
You're
glad
right.
you
To
were
the
reading that.
natural earth
Yeah,
itself.
so
right.
mine is more in I get more in touch with nature, right?
Me too.
When I need to calm down and
Me too.
and go out and the craziest thing, man, I'll let my car down, like the top down, and just drive and blast the radio and just drive. If I need to cry, I cry. If I need whatever I need to do to decompress, I do what I need to do. And then when I walk in that house, I got the game face on.
Yeah.
Clear.
Fred said nobody cares.
You need
Ain't that what I said? Last
Yeah.
night, man? We just
That's
talking
right.
about it.
Because if you don't, man, you'll
crash out.
it's like spontaneous combustion, bro. Like it's like taking a Pepsi and shaking it
Yeah,
up.
and open it.
Now
Right.
it's
Yes,
gonna
sir.
explode, you know, because you got so much, bro. As men, we break, man, it's so
Bottle
much.
it up.
Just,
And you
You
got
gotta deal
so
with that stuff
many
outside.
people depending on you.
Man,
yeah,
right.
You
yeah,
got so much on your back, and not only that, like I said on the last pod, we still got to worry about what's out there.
yeah.
Like we all know what's in here, but we every day as a man, I know women as the same thing, but as a black man in this society, like we got to worry about just going to the store.
Yeah.
Just stepping outside to take your kid on a walk or something.
Yeah.
It's like you never know when we can get profiled for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just those days and times, man, with us. So
And it's been multiplied now because
Yeah.
of social media, because what you'll see, like people say social media and they instantly connect it with the young people or the kids, but y'all know, like social media is just, it's like adults are acting like kids and kids are acting like adults. You know
Like
what I'm
high
saying?
school,
It's like our people who never had their 15 minutes of fame or whatever. They're on there and they pretending like they got this,
Oh,
that, and the
man.
third. And so it's even tougher for a lot of people, because when you got to wake up and put a mask on
Every day.
and then go through and then take that mask off, it's like,
That's why
wow,
the
that's too
suicide
much.
rates and stuff be high.
There you go,
They live in
right?
the
And so
facade.
my thing is, I've just always shown up as my authentic self. So I ain't
you
pretending
tell
on
'em.
social media. I ain't got it. I don't even want you to think I got it, because I'm tired of you asking me for anything. So everything everybody else is running to, I'm running from. You know what I mean? I don't want no parts of that camera. I don't want I don't want you thinking I got nothing, because I don't want you asking me for anything, man. Because at the end of the day, when all that's done, next time check your phone. And sometimes you know that update that pop up and tell you how much time you done spent on social media.
We talked about
Sometimes it'll shock
man.
you, bro.
I'll be embarrassed.
Yeah, you looking like that. Yeah, you
7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours doing what? Like, we not monetizing, man. We not mobilizing. We ain't doing nothing. So you can be spending that time getting your business together, or
Some people look at their
devoting
phone
that to
before
something
they
self-improvement.
Look at your phone
I'm
before
glad
you
you-
pray in the
I'm
morning.
Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it?
Now that,
And that's just the reality of it.
That's wild. Let me give y'all since you said that, my therapist told me it's helped me so
I
much.
need her
I'm
card,
giving y'all I'm giving y'all some free
Alright.
game. Don't touch your phone. Don't look at your phone an hour before you go to bed and an hour when you wake up. Wow. That's your time.
Come on now.
Man, that's helped you so much, because it ain't nothing
Yes,
on there
man.
but notifications,
You're not
text,
gonna miss it.
and somebody
but
back.
you just think you're gonna miss
You
it.
know what I'm saying? And so now when you wake up, whatever your routine is, or thanking God, meditate, whatever it is, you
That's
keep
actually
that,
good.
and that's what it is before you ever touch that phone. Man, it's worked for me
I like that
so much and served so many wonders for me, bro.
Vale, I just didn't know we were so much alike.
Yeah.
man. No, because people laugh at me sometimes, because I do stuff, like I say, I just do stuff out the box.
Yeah.
My wife be like, she'll text me and she'll be like, what are you doing? I'll just start walking in the woods, man.
Oh, I'll take that shotgun Elmer Fudd.
Nah, I'm serious. Or I'll take my fishing rod.
Right.
And I'll just go sit over at the boat docks on Falls Lake. I'll drive out there and I'll just sit, man. Sometimes I throw my rod, sometimes I don't. And she'll text me like, what are you doing? I'm like,
I'm gathering a piece of.
that's right.
Now
That's
you
right.
see why the
I
old folks used
pull
to go fishing.
Yeah, I pull my truck up and I sit on the back of the truck, and guess what I do? I watch them people put their boats and pull their boats in and out the water, and I just clear I sit out there for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I crank my truck up and I go back home, and I'm good to go, man.
And Blink, not to cut you off, but I don't think B and Mommy sharing that. Me and, like last week, me and B was talking, and he was like, "Man, I just went for a run." And man, while I was running, man, I was just crying. Like,
Yeah.
just, I'm like, I
Yeah.
just,
Told
just
you,
drive
dude.
sometime.
Yeah.
Because
That's right.
you need that.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Like,
Nobody-
you need that. For
Let
real.
that
So
out.
I get what you're saying.
Absolutely. Let that out. You gotta have a space, man, where you
Let it out.
decompress. You got it gotta get out.
All right, so we about to get unhumble for a minute.
Yeah,
Let's get unhumble.
Let's do it.
I mean, you know,
Man.
I'm just
do
saying. We look around. You got
you gotta talk that
you got
talk
your
real
pictures everywhere. You got your banners up. You got your chips.
This the house you built.
This the house that you built. You know, and for this next question I got, I mean, I'm gonna give what I think the reason is, but I'm pretty sure yours is different. But whenever anything comes up, any coaching job, Wake Forest to one of the any NC State, anything around the surrounding areas, the Tulsas, all these schools.
UNC.
That name start floating around. The man turning down. We done read turning down $1 million. And all this, you know. And I was just thinking about it. I said, well, selfishly, the money's not always the most important, but this is not from your reasoning. I'm thinking because, hey, I'm at my alma mater where I got all these records. I can pad my stats.
Yeah.
I'm like, look. Let me go ahead and get a couple more 100 wins, so nobody can catch that.
Yeah.
You know, look.
Yeah.
Oh, how many 3-pointers you got, young bud? We're gonna rest you. We're gonna sit you down.
Come on out of here.
How many points
Come
you
on out of
got? Hey, we're gonna sit you down.
He's stupid.
But you know what I mean. But I've seen it both ways because I look back at like Shaka Smart. Like Shaka owned VCU. He owned Richmond. When he decided to roll out, and I was like, the grass ain't always greener. And not only that, you got that what we call now, quality of life. Yeah. It's not always about the paycheck. It's also, it's about can I see my kids? Can I see my kids in the evening? Can I do this? Can I do this when I want to do this? So what keeps you here?
Man, that's a good question, man. I get asked that all the time.
I know you do, but not like that.
Yeah, not like that. Definitely not like that. Man, it's crazy, man. That it just varies, man. I've just been a different dude, man. And I'm not saying that to say I'm better than anybody else or whatever. Like, let me back up, man. Let me preface this, and then you'll probably understand it a little more. When I finished my playing career, I went to a gentleman by the name of John Baker. His father went here, who was the first black sheriff in North Carolina. Okay. John Baker Sr. He told me, he's like, man, you gonna play again this year? Or you going back overseas? I was like, I don't know. My body was getting weary. I was tired. He's like, man, if you want to coach, it's a coaching job at West Millbrook Middle School that you might be interested in. I go to West Millbrook Middle School, and my favorite 7th grade teacher is now the assistant principal who's doing the interview. She gave me the job, and she said, let me know. I said, how much does it pay? She said, $225 a month for 3 months.
Good God almighty.
Right. That same week, my former coach, Greg Jackson, calls me. He's offered me a job to go to Delaware State for 6 figures. So I got to let them know by Friday. So I ended up taking a middle school job, $675. So I turned down a 6-figure job.
I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. You better than me.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, so I understand it. You know what I'm saying? And so, what I learned in that moment is like when you making those major decisions in life, if the first question you ask is what other people going to think about me, then you're just not living your life. You're performing for acceptance, right? Yeah. And I had always been in that situation where I was a project kid, people looking down, and I was like, I had to become my own biggest cheerleader. So that's the blessing of living in the projects. When you wasn't accepted, you had to become your own biggest cheerleader because nobody could fake it because it wasn't popular to love someone from the projects back then, right? No, that was frowned upon to be from the projects. Now it's cool. Everybody want to act like they've overcome something, so they faking like they from there. You know what I'm saying? And so I took that job in 3 years, and I get a call from Sanderson High School. A lady by the name of Kathy Moore, who was my 10th grade French teacher, is now the principal. She wants me to come there. I tell her I can't leave Miss Selden because she gave me a job. Miss Selden comes to me and said, you need to go to high school because your time here is gone. You can't do no more here. I go to high school. Kathy Moore tells me since you was 15 years old, it's always been something special about you. I'm like, damn, I had a 59 in this lady class.
Foreign language.
You talking about She said to me, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And so we win a couple of championships there. Now Central calls me back to come. They making the transition from D2 to D1. They want me to come be assistant coach. And I tell them no 3 times, bro. Wow. And Miss Moore calls me. Shout out to Miss Moore, man. She's incredible. She eventually became superintendent, right? Okay. She calls me in the copier room. She said, LeVelle, what's this I hear about you turning down Central? And I was like, I can't leave you. Like, everybody want me now, but like nobody wanted me then. You know what I'm saying? Like so I can't leave that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the code where I'm from. And once that code is in you, it don't go nowhere. You can't stop and start that. Like that's my integrity. That's how I move as a man. Integrity. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, she put her hands on my face like this, and she said, LeVelle Moton. She said, you need to go take that job because what you have to offer this world is bigger than Sanderson High School. And Luann Edmonds Harris, God rest her soul, she told me to come back here. And I came back here. And so, you know, since I've been here, man, we've had a lot of success and
A lot of success.
a lot of success, and I've been grateful because I had some really good players. That's what happens when you're a coach. You better get good players and a good staff. That's where it comes from, right? And so I don't even take myself that seriously as a coach because in that box, you're really hoping they do what you ask them to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't really control anything. As a player, he had control. Right? He don't have control. Right? He just acted like he got control. He screaming, but that dude had that dude had control. So I felt more comfortable being here.
He had the steering wheel.
Yeah, he had the steering wheel. You over here just turn right, turn. You know what I'm saying? It's a different monster, man. And so with that comes opportunities. It's part of the job, right? And you know, you have suitors and people who want you and so on and so forth. And nothing is private, nothing is confidential in this day and age. So if they want you, they're going to broadcast it. They got sources and all this stuff, right? And so, man, I've interviewed and, you know, Deborah Saunders White came here as a chancellor. And God rest her soul, man. We won the championship in 2014. That was our first one. And afterwards, we're on the we flew private.
On the plane.
We commercial to our spot. And we're catching the bus with police escorts. And she's enjoying it. Everybody's enjoying it, man. It's like our first time in, you know, the dance and everything. We got the late primetime game. And she's sitting beside me. She taps me on my leg. She said, I'm so proud of you. And I said, thank you. She said, when I took over here as chancellor, I had 91 freshmen committed to attending.
She said, what talking about. Listen
she said, now we're at capacity on our enrollment. You know what that is?
Really?
And I was like, nah. She's like, because of this basketball team.
Thank you.
She said, we can't pay for that marketing that they talk about on ESPN and the selection show.
North Carolina Central.
Yeah. So she said, you've turned NCC, because one of my goals was everybody know NCCU and the black culture. But in California, you don't know what that acronym stands for. So I said, they got to call us NC Central. And so when we went to the tournament in 2014, Brian Gumble was like, or Greg Gumble, he was like, North Carolina Central will play, and I was like, we got it.
Right.
So we branded ourselves nationally. And so she was great. And then when we came back here, she called me up to her office, and I was scared. She's like, I know you're going to the Final Four. And what happens at the Final Four, you go out there and people interview you all the time, right? So that's where it's supposed to go down or whatever. In private, whatever. It ain't never private.
Ain't nothing private
So she was like, I know you're going out there and you should interview and you deserve to interview. And she said, I went to the University of Virginia. And she said there was a gentleman named Ralph Sampson there that was bigger than life. And she said, you were the only CIAA player of the year that we've ever had in 100 years. You're the only, she said, you're the winningest basketball player we've ever had. And you're the winningest coach we ever had. And you're the only coach that's taken us to the tournament. She said, if you was at the University of Virginia, we would build a statue for you, right? So she said, I want you to go to the Final Four, and I want you to interview with every school that want to interview you. She said, because if you leave, it's not going to be because we didn't respect you and treat you the way we supposed to treat you. Man, that meant so much to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn.
It took the pressure off.
She said, you go do that. She said, this is what we're going to offer you, and we're going to make you a new deal, and I think you'll be happy with that deal, and if that ain't good enough, you come back and tell us because you're going to be worthy. And I was like, yo, that's so crazy. So she broke the stereotype because, to be honest, man, and I'm just going to be a buck with y'all because we here. If you go back and look at HBCUs and their legendary coaches, it ain't ended the right way.
Nope.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm a historian, so I always studied that. Like, people talk about John McClendon and this building named after him, but they don't talk about why he left here. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about what happened to Greg Jackson at Delaware State or Fang Mitchell at Coppin State or Eddie Robinson at Grambling or Big House Games
or Bernard.
You see what I'm saying? So it don't. I was like, so who am I to think that it's going to end well for me? You know what I'm saying? I always had that in the back of my mind. And so after that conversation with her, man, she was like an aunt. She made me feel at peace, man. And she passed away a couple of years later. It broke my spirit. Like, it broke my heart. right? But under her leadership, man, it just changed my outlook on the business aspect, right? Like, I don't even, man, I know what happened with Prime at Jackson State. That's my dog.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody got their story.
Right.
But that's my dude. And he ended up leaving, but he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'll let him if he want to explain. But even him, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it don't end well,
matter,
bro.
man.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, we got to change that. We got to,
Coach
K ends how he wanted
Exactly.
it.
Right.
It the way it's supposed to be. They get courts and everything else named after. And
Look at A&T's football coach. We won
Yeah.
4 celebration
Yeah.
bowls,
Bro, it don't-
and they fired him like after the game was over.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's just like
crazy.
we got to do better as a people,
Yes.
as a culture, as a university. We got to love, protect, and take care of each other,
That's
bro.
the core.
Because they take care of each other.
Yes.
That's one thing they do.
Yeah,
They
they
will
gonna
take care of each other.
Yep, right.
Nothing else. They will set aside their differences.
not if you want. No, you don't even have to be the best.
No.
Yeah,
And they
gonna
still
take
gonna
care
take
of
care of
it.
you. Yeah,
They gonna take care of it,
yeah.
especially if you poured and done something for that school. You going out the right way. You know what I'm saying? And but we ain't necessarily. Our history has indicated that we don't send you out the right way, and I was always apprehensive of that, man. So to answer your question, I get it, man. I've had NBA jobs and assistant office with NBA office, associate coaches, head coaches, and like. I've always been interested in going in that room and looking the person in their eye that I'm supposed to work for, right? Because it ain't the school. What makes the job is who you work for, right? And if you don't get along with them, it ain't gonna happen, right? And so when you go over there, you just have to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. And so that $1 million job. Right, and I hate putting it on the internet because people don't read and people don't listen. They just say $1 million,
and they think that's all it is. They don't realize the commitments that you made, the things that kept you from taking that. I mean,
and not only that,
is
this is what I got a problem with too. If we being a buck, like my mentor was like, he said, "Yo, man, like you can't win for losing. Like you try to help and educate the community." And then they come back, $1 million, but like everybody talking about that, right? Because, right, if it sound cool, right? So like, think about it this way: if I sat in front of 5,000 people and they said, "Well, LeVelle Moton being offered jobs," nobody would be surprised, right? And if you came back and said, "Well, LeVelle Moton has turned down several jobs," nobody would be surprised. But when you say LeVelle Moton turned down $1 million job,
that's what everybody,
Especially us.
yeah, like why?
Especially us.
Like why is that such a thing? $1 million is $500,000 after taxes. Where I'm from.
Very true.
So now you're right back where you started, right? And so keep in mind, like, yo, this dude, he's from a different place, right? So he knows fast money ain't the it money. If so, he would have been on the block doing something he wasn't supposed to do at 12. And the beautiful thing is when you're living in the projects and you rock bottom, you get a full view while you're down there. And so you discover and you know what happiness is. You're looking up and you see, oh, you ain't happy. So you realize money don't make you happy, bro.
Because I've been at the bottom.
You know what I'm saying? And if y'all project kids, I had the most fun in my life in the hood.
project.
You know what I'm
Broke.
saying? Like flipping on mattresses and making my own basketball rims. Now, don't get it twisted. Money is important and so on and so forth, but all money ain't good money where I'm from. And if so, we would have been on that block doing some mess that we shouldn't have been doing at 12 years old if all money was good money. You know what I'm saying? I would have sold that out a long time ago, right? And so it's just for each job that come available, man, we pray about it, me and my family, and then we say, okay, yeah, like what you want to do. You want to stay or you want to go and so on and so forth. And, you know, that I've called my mentors in the business who knows some of these ADs and some of these people, and they were like,
You ain't gonna be happy over there.
don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that. Like one in particular was like, yo, man, before I interviewed with a particular AD, I had a coach, a very popular coach in the biz. I can't even name him. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, when you go in there, I've worked with him at such and such. He said, when you go in there, you just gonna feel something you ain't never felt in your life before, right? And I went and I interviewed, and they were talking about a lot of money. And I just felt something that I had never felt before. I was like, nah, I can't do that. Like this ain't.
This don't even sound.
You ain't got my back.
Right.
Like if it get ugly and we lose 2 in a row, whatever. You ain't got my back. It happens all the time.
We go on the front line and get burnt.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be there for me.
Coach, I heard you use the word success. Contrary to belief, we're Aggies. We all went to A&T. But
I forget. When y'all leave here, I got this. My whole hood out here waiting for you too. You can believe it.
I'm getting to my point.
My whole hood waiting on y'all out here. I already made the call.
Tell Big Brown, we said what up. That's all I got. We good. We good.
No, my point is, we're from Durham.
Yeah.
Which means I support Central also.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, football team, Celebration Bowl, I'm there. So when you say success, I remember when you guys made the tournament, dialed in, like can't wait. Thursday night, whenever Central playing, we dialed in, whole family. What is it going to take Central basketball to get back to that point?
Man, we were 7 points short last year. Right? And, you know, the other thing is, you know, a lot of coaches or a lot of people run from the grind, right? When they see something, when they see a flaw or a challenge in the administration or athletic department, they get out of there. Right? And I ain't never been that guy, right? And so every time I've been here, man, I took over a transition from Division II to Independent, then from Independent to Division I. Then in D1, we couldn't even, our first 2 years, we couldn't even compete for a championship. So I'm recruiting kids and telling them we can't play for a championship. Then, you know, once we get it going, we have a wave of success. Win 5 championships or 8, well, what was it, like 8 championships in 12 years, 4 regular seasons, 4 tournaments, and then we get COVID. COVID hit us harder than any school in the country, man. Like we missed 69. We should not have been playing basketball, right? So for those 2 years. And then after COVID, now you go to this NIL thing. And I'm like, good gracious, right? And so to be honest, we haven't opted in. We're the only team that haven't opted in, right? So we plan on doing that or whatever. But, you know, any other coach would have been like, I'm out because y'all ain't got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm like,
Y'all not giving me. Well, I don't want to say not giving me what we need.
That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say, right?
They'll
But
use that as an
I'm more the dude that's like,
let's get it.
I'm a project dude, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
and that,
facing
like,
it. I'm coming to it.
So it's like some people, life is about perspective. It ain't what you see is what you, like life is about perspective. It ain't what you see is how you see it. You know what I'm saying? And what you see is what you get. So I could go in my hood right now or go in my house and it can be nothing but bread, butter, and some syrup in the cabinet and some water in the refrigerator.
Make it work.
Average person be like, man, we ain't got nothing here. I see French toast.
I'm about to say.
You follow what I'm saying? So it's just about your perspective of that. Like, my kid be like, Dad, we ain't got no food in this. Girl, this French toast.
I said French toast.
Watch me whip this up.
Right? And so I'll just rather rally people up and say, okay, yo, let's get together. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about what we ain't got. Because people go complain all the time. I ain't that dude. Like, we know what we don't have. We ain't got no, how we going to go get it? Right? So with our administration now, that's what we've been working on. Like, yo, everybody come to the table. All right, we missing this. Hey, Vel, what you need? I need this. All right? All of this is predicated off money. That's where it's going. Right? And we can't be the only school that don't have money. And we out here trying to recruit the best athletes because 95% of everything I do are them people on that wall right there. You know what I'm saying? Like these dudes are the best players. That's why. So in order to recruit the best players, you got to have the most money now. And it ain't
money at least.
it ain't no need to complain about it. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are now. So we dealing with it. So we got a couple of good recruits now, man, and we was fortunate to get some dudes that was just hungry to play basketball. But you know, we gotta play as everyone else is playing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way you're gonna survive, because this is a capitalistic country.
Yes, it is.
This is a
we talk about that too a lot.
The NCAA is a capitalistic.
They turned it into that. They turned it into
program.
that because it wasn't like that before NIL.
It wasn't.
So,
right? So now, I hate to say it, but, you know, our rivalry is no longer the same in basketball because y'all got money. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can get some dudes that we necessarily can't get. So it's like it takes that away a little bit. Y'all getting some ACC drop down dudes. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? That's how UNC felt before they got Caleb Wilson.
Yeah.
They couldn't compete. They complained about the players.
I was at the Carolina game when y'all played them, and me and Esco was like, if we had the coach right, things would have been a little different. I was like, come on, man. But never mind.
Nah, never mind.
Y'all want to get into that.
Never mind.
Well, look, we're gonna get back into basketball in a second.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you to a little bit of what we do on our podcast. So we're gonna bring you into the podcast for a little bit.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So we know you like your music and things like
Yes,
that.
sir.
You come up with us. So
We thought about you
we
on
got
this
we
Yes,
got
sir.
a segment of our show we like to call One's Gotta Go.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, and the way it goes is you got 4 names, 4 person, places, or things. They're all great.
one of them got to go.
There's no wrong answers.
There's no wrong.
Well, y'all, hey, yes it can
Hey, you see
be.
the quote? Yeah. There's no wrong answers.
If you made the list,
If you made the list, you're great.
But it could be a wrong answer.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so we got. Let me see which one we're gonna do. We got a couple in the stash, but we're gonna do this one.
Let's
right
do
here.
it.
We got R&B and rap collabs.
Okay.
One's gotta go.
Somebody got to get
All right,
out
you
of
ready?
Somebody got to get out of here.
You ready? We starting off with Method Mary. You all I need. Okay. Now, Bell, here's what we want you to do,
Take it
though.
back to that time.
Take it, yeah.
God
You got to
almighty.
go to that moment.
Take yourself
The
back.
math
to
on
when
the
you really-
roof, they just vibe like.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Next one we got Case and Foxy Brown. Touch Me Teeth.
Shout out to
Bye-bye.
Case.
Just keep me laced
You know
up.
how.
Shout out to Case. That's my dog.
All right.
God almighty.
All right, the third one we got LL and Boys to Men, Hey Lover. Okay, forget about it. It was Harlem at the Ruck.
And I know he was-
saw you with you. Yeah, see, right. You probably was at the Rucker when that came out.
Just watching me play at the Rucker Short. Okay.
And the last
Oh,
one,
my God.
the last one is Nas and Lauryn Hill. If I Rule the World. One's gotta go. Well, you're on the hot seat. What you got?
And why?
And why? And
You
why?
gotta
Listen to all these
explain.
on the way here.
Woo!
Good Lord.
I'll go through them again real
Yeah, y'all
quick.
ain't
You
playing
got
fair.
Method Mary. All I
Case and
need. You got
Foxy,
Case and Fox,
Boys
Touch
to
Me
Men.
Tease Me, LL and Boys to Men, Nas and Lauryn Hill.
Oh, my God.
One's got to go.
Songs. Collabs.
Look, yeah, man, let's get to it.
Yeah. Go ahead, coach.
We following your lead.
All right, there you go.
If I, God almighty.
Oh, man, this was tough.
I think the one that would have to go for me would be LL and Boys to Men.
Okay.
Right. And the reason is those other 3 were all club bangers. When I was in school.
Okay.
Or when I was doing my time. Like that Mary and Meth was like
Yeah.
that was different. You know what I'm saying?
You
Then,
talking about club
then
that-
Case and Fox. Like
Soon as
that
that
was,
beat drop,
Yes, bro.
you could play that
Popeye,
at a wedding or
keep it
anything
oh
right now.
my goodness. And
And Lauren and Nas.
oh, that
I
was
Rule the
yeah.
World.
I mean, come on, that was
Yeah.
like you can't eliminate Lauren.
I
Hill
beat
from
all,
that.
man.
You know what I'm saying? So I would say Boys to Men and LL.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it seemed more natural. Oh no, they were just bangers, man. They were just bangers. I can't just
All
play
right,
my way
Blink,
out
what you
of
got,
it.
Blink?
You would go to me.
I would go to you.
I'm gonna say my favorite first.
Okay.
Because and when you talk about in the moment, the Lauryn Hill and Nas, I can remember I might have been a junior in high school, senior, something like that. I had the single, if y'all remember those. Probably had,
Max?
Yeah. So I never forget we were going to Myrtle Beach or we were going somewhere, Kingston Million or something. We played that song over and over and over and over again. So I just had to put that out there. But as far as One's got to go, I'm gonna say LL and Boys to Men.
Okay.
Reason being, because I was listening to it today and I was like, dang, they humming got Boys to Men on the hook, fire on the hook, come in singing all songs. But that's the thing. I'm not riding down the street playing
Why not?
that. Well, the other ones I can turn up and get get into the LL.
No, it depends on what mood
Yeah,
you're in.
yeah.
Sometimes you might just want to fresh out the car wash.
Right.
Put that top down.
2 miles per
Yeah,
hour so everybody can see me. I got that LL in.
I didn't want to do that to LL.
$2 an hour so everybody sees.
Fred, who you got, Fred?
Man.
No, I'm leaving.
Buddy.
I'm leaving.
Don't make me start this, man. You tripping.
Fred, like I thought y'all said ain't no wrong answer.
That's the wrong answer.
That's a wrong answer.
Come on.
That's
That's the wrong
Is
answer.
this clickbait? What
Hold
are
on.
you
What
doing?
you got, Fred?
I want to hear the reasoning though.
Nah, go ahead.
To me, out of all those songs, that's the one that talks about the struggle the most. When I'm in a good mood, I don't want to hear the struggle like that.
You ain't see meth come up that
Man.
But they struggling together.
with the one eye,
Yeah,
half braids.
That was so cultured,
Yeah,
bro. That
yeah.
video itself.
They talking about they struggle.
So he don't want to hear about the
I
struggle.
got you, Fred.
He-
I don't want to ride down the street.
I can
listening
dig
to
it.
LL.
Right. I can dig it. I can dig it.
it.
Who you got, JC?
LL, man.
LL,
I
okay,
listen
why?
to them songs because now I like the melody of the beat.
Right?
Boys to me,
all of
it meshed perfect.
Yeah.
But when you talking about them other three, what is Jada? You ain't got it. It ain't enough. It ain't enough to knock them off.
Right.
Method and Red. I mean, the Method and Mary, man. That was like my first song. Verbatim every word. Like,
Yeah.
So
I think
The
Yeah,
Nas,
like,
the
if you
Nas
don't
and
know that
Lauryn
Method
Hill,
verse,
the Nas
like,
and Lauryn
Me
Hill
and
too.
Jay, remember,
Yeah,
like,
man.
The Feli, the Grant Hills, like a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
that-
that they were wearing
era
in that
of it,
video.
yeah, it was
the
just
jacket he had on.
everything.
Like a lot of
That, yeah,
Harold,
man.
That was like, we saw that.
And that was the first time you kind of seen like a rapper female
Right.
collab.
Yeah.
Right. I was just nah.
It was
And-
raw and
And
rugged.
look,
Yeah.
and Meth, right,
That's what I'm
rugged.
saying.
Meth won't polish the
When you
nothing.
go
He
back
was
to that
out there.
time, when you go back to that time of when it dropped, you like, oh nah, ain't nothing touching.
That's
it.
when
So-
them cats was really trying to get into music.
Yeah.
It
Like
was,
you
it was
said,
grinding
about
Meth
the
in that
bag.
video.
Yeah.
That whole Bring the Pain album, that was my
What?
that was my
that
pregame.
Meth.
All that,
That's
bro.
what I listened to on the bus.
So
Yeah.
What?
that's why I let that LL go out of them. 'Cause that case can't when it drops, man.
But you
Yeah,
beat.
that's different.
Yeah. That case, man. I'm sorry.
What?
Case gotta go.
Man, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
For
No
me,
wrong
yeah,
answers.
nah,
No wrong.
If I really a lot of things that Blink talked about.
Yeah.
As far as
Oh, that's
if
no
I
going
Ruled the
nowhere.
Road when that first came out, that's a classic in itself, right?
Yeah.
The Meth and Mary, what we just talked about, as far as for me, and when I came up, just watching it, being a culture shift for me, seeing Meth and his raw and rugged ways, and I just clicked onto that. Hey Lover, Hey Lover with LL and Boys and Men. That's just a smooth track.
It's fire.
it is.
It is. It's
track.
smooth.
That's,
Yeah.
it's Michael. It's a Michael Jackson
It is,
sample.
Yeah. That's why.
It's
one
why
of
I
those
said
ones
it's
I
Lady in My
always
Life.
go
Right.
back to. You know what I'm saying? And just and listen to it and always
Yeah.
get that same
Lady in
feeling
My
from when I
Life.
first heard that joint the very first time.
Yeah.
And the Case in the Foxy, it's a banger, but
That's a banger.
when it dropped,
yeah.
That was a soundtrack.
Yeah, nah, it was on Nutty Professor.
People
joint.
like
that beat so fire.
But it's
Foxy don't get the credit.
Nah, she
Yeah.
killed
And
that.
that's one thing. For her
As
career,
a female
artist, yeah. I mean,
killed it.
that may be one of the reasons
So
why
you got
it killed her
Case.
to
So
me.
you got Case and Foxy.
Yeah, gotta go.
All right,
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
it took a lot of deliberation. Guys. I usually make everybody run around when I say mine, but it came down to because you got certain songs that are staples and certain, well, they're all staples, but you know what I mean. You got to start ranking things.
Right.
So it's like Meth and Mary. You can't. And anytime there's a collab that comes up, that's always in there. Nas and Lauren as well.
Yeah.
If I rule the
Oh,
world,
you
I
scared
want time.
me.
So it
You
came
scared
down
me.
to me. It came down to that Boys to Men
Yep, that
and
Yeah.
that Foxy and that Foxy and Case,
Yeah.
right?
I was the same too, bro.
Yeah, dog. Yeah.
But when that Papa just keep me and that
Bro.
beat dropped,
Yeah.
bro.
I listened to it on the way here. I was like, no.
And I remember where I was.
Yeah, being in the club at that
Yeah.
time.
Talking about Power Company and
Man, bro.
That was a special
It's
time.
just fire. Yeah.
so that's why I go with that one.
I got you.
But it was hard, bro. This was hard.
This was a good one.
That was a real good one. That was a real good
Yeah, I like that.
Yo, what's up, man? I'm LeVelle Moton, Coach LeVelle Moton, head coach at North Carolina Central men's basketball team, man. I just finished the Nah Never Mind podcast. Y'all got to go catch this episode. It's going to be fire. Make sure you tune in, support these brothers doing outstanding things in the community. I'm glad to support. Peace, one love, man. See?